It's me, MLB. Here is Itadori Yuji in the spotlight today, and he is paired with a female listener. And as the title suggests, yes, it will be featuring Sukuna because I need my daddy demon in my life. Please and thank you. So without further ado, I bring to you first, Itadori ex-female listener. Really? It had to be here? Itadori deadpanned as he read the sign above the door ahead while you and he entered the school grounds and headed to the building in question. What's your problem? Come on, this will be an easy one, you and me, you said with a grin as you walked a little ahead of him and looked back at him over your shoulder. If it's the science block, I'm leaving, he replied, sneaking a little peek at your ass while you strutted ahead. Why? You asked, looking back at him again and noticing him quickly looking away. I failed molecular chem, he mumbled. I didn't, you replied cheekily. Yeah, rub it in, why don't you? He replied with a small smirk. Come on, who cares where it is? We just have to clear this area and mark it off before they lift the veil. Simple, you said proudly. We've been through so many battles together. This one will be no different. Well, actually, Itadori said, watching your hips swing. You asked, looking back at him and catching him looking at your ass again. Boy, are you checking me out? You teased. Huh? Oh, no, he fumbled, blushing madly as he looked away, scratching his cheek. Yeah, I wish he was checking me out. I swear he was. You pouted internally as he looked back to where you were walking and stepped up the steps into the building. Truth be told, you had the major hots for Itadori. He was exactly your type and he was super cool and chill to be around, and you just decided that after this battle, if things went well, you were going to ask him out. And over in Itadori's corner, he also thought that you were amazing. You were exactly his type too, taller girl with a shapely ass, and he too was hoping that if he did well with this exorcism, then he would attempt to ask you out, but he wasn't sure if you were going to say yes or no. You hadn't really given him any indication of it being one way or the other yet. I hope we exercise this place, and I hope she says yes to going out with me, he thought as he followed you up the stairs. You rounded the corner and started heading towards the science room ahead, and he deadpanned. I told you it was the science, he mumbled from behind you. Did you curse this place? You joked, looking back at him. His eyes met yours, and then he quickly looked past you and suddenly shot ahead of you, jumping and kicking at something before you even had a chance to look back in front of you again. Whoa! You gasped, shielding yourself as you stepped back, Itadori now in front of you. Stay back in, he said, one arm out to the side as he stood protectively in front of you, facing off with a grotesque-looking being in front of him. 1, you said, and he crouched, getting ready for you to release your curse technique. 2, you added to your count. The curse started moving towards you both again, making horrible sounds, and you counted once more. 3, you said, and then all of a sudden the floor opened up to a galaxy, and then a portal further down the hall opened, and the curse fell out of it and started down the hall towards you again. So handy, Itadori said with a smirk. You can keep them in an endless loop of retreat, and if we time it right, I can kick them over and over, but they never gain ground. Yeah, that's the idea, you said with a chuckle. Okay, you ready to kick some curse's ass? Yeah, you betcha, he replied, standing up straight and cracking his knuckles. Let's do this. And so you and he toyed with this curse, using your trigger, counting to 3, to open portals, sending the curse right back to where it began every time it tried to amble its way along the corridors towards you, with Itadori doing his thing and fighting this curse any time it got close enough to be fought. Itadori's fighting style was very acrobatic, with his movements being seamless and fluid, allowing him to strike his opponent on many different angles, which also allowed him to easily evade multiple oncoming attacks. He was skilled in a martial arts style known as Taido martial arts, which gave him an edge as well, and you loved working with him. His confidence always boosted yours. Thankfully, this giant blob really was a nothing threat, and after toying with it for a while, you and Itadori finally defeated it and then turned to start heading back down the corridor together. Now? Do I ask him now? You thought, side glancing at Itadori beside you as you walked, relieved that the battle was over, but doubly nervous now that you had come to time to ask Itadori out. Should I ask her out? Itadori asked himself, looking down his front. We defeated it, and I'd said I'd ask her out when we finished. Don't you think it would be more fun if I spent time with her? A mouth on the side of Itadori's cheek suddenly asked, and you looked at him when you heard the foreign voice, seeing the mouth on the side of his cheek and staring at it. Don't you dare, Itadori replied to the voice and tried to cover the new mouth with his hand, but the voice spoke once more before being smothered. "Enchain," it said. Suddenly, lines and markings grew on Itadori's face, and thin eyes appeared under Itadori's, giving him a completely different look as you stopped and stared at him. "Oh no," you whispered. You knew that Itadori was a vessel for the most powerful sorcerer to ever exist, but you had been told that Itadori was able to contain him. There had only been a few moments where Sukuna had come out, but you hadn't been there when it had happened, so this was your first time seeing it in person. You froze as Sukuna turned to you. "What do you want with me?" you asked him. He smirked and tilted his head up to look down his nose at you. His presence was immense, and you could feel yourself starting to panic a little. How were you supposed to hold up in the presence of this being? "How about we have a little fun?" Sukuna asked as he reached out and took your wrist in his hand. "No," you said weakly, Sukuna pulling you into himself. "I think we could have a very good time," he said again as he held your body against his. "Why would you want to be with that brat when you could be with me?" You tried to pull your wrist out of his grasp, but he refused to let you go. "No, wait, what are you doing?" you asked with fear in your voice. "He wants to date you, but he's pathetic. If you were mine, it could be a whole different story. If you get on your knees and beg, I might just let you be with me," Sukuna said with a snarling smirk. "No, you stammered. "No?" Sukuna asked sharply. "Who do you think you are to say no to me?" You paled. Suddenly Sukuna's markings disappeared, and it was Itadori looking down at you in his arms instead. "Oh, I'm sorry," he said quickly, letting you go and stepping back to give you some space. "No, it's okay. I meant, you stammered. "Oh, yes, sorry. I lost control a bit, but I got it back," Itadori replied. "That won't happen again, I promise." "Is it weird to have some other entity inside you?" you asked him, starting to walk again. Yeah, I guess," he replied with a shrug. "If Sukuna ever comes out again, just drop us in an internal portal loop," he said. You snorted. "Yeah, okay, as long as I have your permission," you said with a smirk. "Hurry up and ask, brat," the mouth on the side of Itadori's face said as it suddenly appeared again. "No, not yet," Itadori whispered harshly, smacking his cheek to slap the mouth. "I'll do it if you don't," the mouth said again, suddenly appearing in Itadori's right palm. Itadori clapped his hands together to make Sukuna shut up, and you watched on with a little amusement this time. What is going on with these two? Should I still ask him out? It sounds like he was about to ask me out. You wondered. It's a bit of a weird moment. Maybe I should wait. The two of you walked out of the building together silently as you both thought about your own thoughts, and you had just gotten onto the road again when you finally couldn't take it any longer. Hey, you both said at the same time. "Oh, sorry, you first." "Oh, sorry, you first," you both said again. Then you laughed. "You first," you said to him. Itadori said, acting a little nervous as he scratched the back of his head and averted his eyes. Hey, listen, do you have a boyfriend? You don't, right?" No, I don't," you replied with a playful smirk. "Why, do you have a girlfriend?" No," he replied, and then he fell quiet. Would you like to, you both said at the same time, and he looked at you and you laughed. "Sorry, you first," you added, gesturing to him. Would you like to, he started, "be my girlfriend?" the sudden mouth of Sukuna asked, popping up on his cheek again. "Huh?" you asked with surprise. "Not yours," Itadori shouted at the mouth, who smirked and then let out an evil laugh. "Mine! Would you be mine?" he added, quickly, looking at you. "I'm so sorry, you might have to deal with these type of interruptions." "I don't mind, it makes it more interesting, I guess," you mused. So would you," Itadori asked, "be my girlfriend, not Sukuna's, mine?" I was actually going to ask you to be my boyfriend today, so I'll be your girlfriend if you be my boyfriend," you joked. "Oh, really?" he asked with surprise. "Yeah, I definitely would like that," he said. "Okay, let's do it." "Well, that was easy," you chuckled. "Must be handy to have an inbuilt wingman," you added, referring to Sukuna. "Oh, wait, did he say something?" Itadori asked. "Wouldn't you like to know?" Sukuna suddenly said from the mouth on Itadori's hand. "Stop!" Itadori said, while Sukuna laughed. Well, this is going to be interesting, you mused, as you both headed back to Jujutsu High. And there ends the Itadori featuring Sukuna one-shot. Stay tuned for next week. It will be Megumi in the spotlight. I'll see you all then.